Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is the go-to source for 100% organic, GMO-free microgreen seeds. Trusted by hundreds of growers for high quality and low prices. If you're growing microgreens, start saving at shop.moderngrower.co.
So there's potentially a little bit of conflict there, is because you mentioned here as well that in the beginning you did a good job of keeping your costs very low. And I wonder how you did that when maybe I'm speaking a lot for myself here, but there's a temptation to spend. There's a temptation. You talked about the spending you did do. You paid a photographer, you bought a new phone, you did some courses. So when there's so many things you could be spending money on, how did you keep your costs low in those early days?
In the early days, the phone came a little bit later on, actually. But in the very early days, it really was as simple as a few racks, some trays, the soil that needed to go into the trays, and the seeds. And we would buy smaller bags of seeds. We didn't worry about having inventory on hand or anything like that. It was having enough seed to last a certain amount of time, just in case the supplier runs out, was not even a thought that we had when we got started. We got really lucky. And we're always able to buy what we needed to buy. And my phone's actually going to die here. So can we pause for 1 second so I can plug it in?
Yes, we can. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll edit this part out.
Balance it perfectly. I might just hold it for a second. Okay.
Now the cord's in the way for it to stand up properly?
Yeah, exactly. I might have another stand here that...
Can you go sideways?
Is that going to work for the video?
It doesn't really, I'm sideways, so us being the same is better, but it doesn't really, video's a little more flexible anyway, so.
As long as you can prop it in. Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking about keeping costs low.
Yeah. Okay. So keeping costs low. When we got started, it was as simple as a few racks, some trays, some soil, just a few seeds, smaller bags of seeds. We didn't consider keeping stock of seeds available. It did create a bit of a problem for us at one point, but we can come back to that later. But yeah, we were just like, okay, we just have some lighting. We didn't even really worry about what that's absolute best lighting. It was just get some lights, get some trays, see what it's like. There was a greenhouse store down the corner and that was going out of business because a whole bunch of different reasons. Anyways, we would go in there and nobody else wanted trays, and he would give us trays for a quarter of the price of what they were supposed to be and things like that. So we did enjoy some benefits when we got started as far as keeping costs low. But even business cards, we just got like stupid business cards. We didn't worry about spending a lot of money on a lot of different things. We got a printer to print some labels. We started with small labels. And then we tried to keep, for the labels, for example, we tried to keep a certain size of label so that we were not increasing the cost per label. And I do actually need to get them printed by a label company, and I get them on rolls so I can pull them off easily. But I still kept that same shape and size so that if I wanted to just add in another product really quickly, instead of having to order the minimum amount of labels from the label supplier, I could still go and get the sheets and print the sheets if I needed to. And it's just a white label. We didn't worry about fancy colors or anything like that. So we've kept it really simple in that way when it comes to saving on costs.
Hello, growers. If you enjoy podcasts like this one, tune into my podcast In Search of Soil on YouTube for a deep dive into the mysteries beneath our feet. Join me as I explore topics such as mycorrhizal fungi, mushrooms, compost, biochar, and more. It's a soil nerd's dream. We're going deep. We're talking to scientists about all things soil related. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or a gardener just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Check out In Search of Soil on YouTube.